So talking about different business models of a backyard nursery, there's all sorts of ways that you can actually make money at a nursery. So the main thing that you're going to focus on, of course, probably is selling plants, whether you get them through propagation, buying and reselling from wholesalers, buying clearance plants from Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, and reselling them. I do a mix of all that, of course, and the main thing that I always go back to is selling plants. So there's also selling different things. So if you have a wholesale source to buy soil, you could break that down and sell it in smaller portions in your neighborhood, your community, at your plant sales. You can even sell in the big bag. Say, hey, I can give you a deal on this. If you're looking for like rice hulls, is an organic way for bedding for your chickens. So you can say, hey, I got a 60-pound bag of rice hulls. It's organic. You don't have, and it's all natural. You don't have to worry about anything worrying or getting the chickens sick. You can use the rice hulls. This 60-pound bag should be good for a normal size coop, and they'll know exactly how much bedding they normally use or whatnot. So you can do that. Or the sphagnum peat moss. In the summertime, it gets really, really hard to find bags of sphagnum peat moss. Well, if you have a wholesale source for it, you can buy it from your wholesale source and just mark it up. Exactly what I do. I buy it at a wholesale price and mark it up about double the price because it's still cheaper than buying it retail, volume wise, and it gets you some money. So if I, like for instance, I used a whole bag of sphagnum peat moss on these hostas, well, I'm going to sell a bag to somebody else tomorrow. Actually, I'm dropping something off at their house because my wholesale supplier for the different greenhouse stuff is close by to where they live. I have to go pick it up for myself and that person. I'm going to buy a bag for me, buy a bag for him, and that basically makes a bag free because I'm selling for double the price. And for gas, I have to go up there anyway because I'm down to my last little bit of sphagnum peat moss and I'm going to need more for later in the season. So there's different ways like that. And you could also sell the pots. You buy them in bulk. There's not somebody that might want to try their hand at potting up different plants. So this summer, I plan on selling starts for blackberries. If they want to gradually pot them up into a bigger size and then eventually put them into the ground, or even the bigger pot, like 27-gallon, you can sell them the flats of plants. You can sell them the trade gallon or full gallon, true gallon pots, and then you can sell them the 27-gallon that you can put out in your yard or whatever, in your backyard. You can sell those different pots. If you come up with a good pricing model, people will love to buy that stuff from you. That's different ways to make extra money throughout the year. Fertilizer, if you buy fertilizer in bulk for your business, you can sell different sections. Break that bag down. If it's a 50-pound bag, you break them down into like 51-pound bags, and you make sure you mark that up a little bit, and you can see the profit and loss there on that product. You can basically be double, triple, quadruple your price on something like fertilizer because people say, hey, fertilizer, I need that. And if they're buying the plants from you, you might as well supply the fertilizer for them. So there's different ways to make money in this industry. So like more examples, my wholesale supplier sells steaks, they sell plant labels, they sell tomato cages, they sell almost anything that you need to do a garden. Because I have two, they're owned by the same people, that they do a greenhouse supply store and a produce supply store, and they specify, they do different things. They have row covers and greenhouse plastics, and they sell greenhouses. And weed fabric, something that I use in my business, will be weed fabric. So, and if you're looking into doing a backyard nursery, you're going to be needing the same thing. So I can buy the roll of black weed fabric. I've never sold it because I haven't used it until this year, or haven't been using it up until this year. You can buy the roll, you can put it down where you need, and from there on, whatever you don't use, you can sell by the foot, or you can sell by a 10 by 10 section. You can set up a pricing structure for going to the people's property and putting these rows of weed fabric down for their garden or whatever they may be doing. You could offer delivery services. So you know how much you need for them. You roll it out, cut it with the lighter or the flame, and you sell them for that certain section. If they do 3 feet, 10 feet, 12 feet, whatever, by 100, you cut that up, give them a couple extra feet, a certain price that, you know, it's fair for them and fair for you, and you go there and you set it up. Or you can do delivery services for that kind of stuff. There's all sorts of money that you can make in this business by just not just selling the plants, but the different things that people need. Also, perlite. Perlite is a huge thing that people love to use in their potting soil. You could, again, my wholesale person sells big bags of perlite. You can break these down into 1 quart, 8 quart bags and sell them to customers. Or you can mix soil. You do the sphagnum peat moss, which is a base for almost a lot of plants out there, and you can mix that with perlite. I'd rather use rice hulls than perlite, but you mix that with rice hulls and you can sell them a finished product. Like, hey, this is good for moisture retention and aeration because it has peat moss as the base for water and perlite for the base of aeration. And you can add more to that. You can put perlite and vermiculite in there and sell it up as it's going to retain moisture, and it'll be airy, and it's going to be able to, your water's going to be able to pass through it but retain that moisture so it doesn't dry out as quick. If you have just bark mulch in your pot, of course it's going to dry out eventually sooner than if you had peat moss in there. If you have peat moss and bark mulch together, it's a perfect solution, just like peat moss and rice hulls, peat moss and perlite. I'm putting over there because I literally have a bag of it right over there. And I'm in this shed because it's freezing outside. It's about 30 degrees in Pennsylvania, and it's dark. So it's about 8 o'clock at night, fully dark, can't see. I was potting these up for most of the day. I had to run and get more stuff from somebody else, but you can do a lot of stuff in this business.